Hi everyone, I'm Mariana Murillo and I am the Semilla Project's podcast host. And today we will be talking all things outdoors and community, joined by our amazing outdoors department here at the Semilla Project, and we will be able to hear more about them and what they do. So could I please have you guys introduce yourselves?
Hello, Yate Keegan Rose Yanisha. My name is Keegan Rose, and I am the Outdoors Program Manager here at Semilla.
Hello, my name is Alexis. I'm the Urban Forestry and Outdoor Educator Intern with Semilla.
Okay, can we just kind of how are you guys feeling today? Mm-hmm. How's the vibes?
Yeah, of course. Well, it's a Friday, so feeling pretty good, I would say. Looking forward to the weekend too as well, just to relax, decompress, and get some sunlight. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm honestly feeling a little nervous.
Really? I could have told.
I'm usually not this nervous, so I'm trying to shake it out. But I'm feeling good because it is a Friday, and I'm ready for the weekend.
Okay. Well, we can just get into a little bit what you guys do specifically, what your roles. I know you guys mentioned your roles, but what does it entail? Kind of explain it yourself in your own words.
Yeah. So I guess for me and my role is kind of the overall kind of connecting the vision and the mission of Semilla Project to our outdoor programming and our events, and just making sure that all things are kind of covered on a logistical level as well as a cultural level too as well, because kind of connecting those two on those ends enhances the experience for getting community members outdoors.
For me, it's a little bit of both. So the urban forestry side, we have a tree program that we do. It's called Rooting Our Community, also ROC. And that one, we educate the community about trees, why they're important, and how to plant them. So that one's I really enjoy that one. That one's fun to get out to the community. And then for the outdoor education portion, it's a lot of outreach, a lot of planning, and a lot of working with the community to get people involved and outside.
So recently, what events have you guys put on? I know you guys have put on a few.
I would say within this year, we've had a few, let's say the Valentine's hike, our community hikes with the Outdoor Adventure Club, and also our weekly rhythms too as well. And a little bit more about the weekly rhythms is that they're just kind of varying throughout the week with getting the community outdoors active, where it's either walking, running, hiking, or a rotating activity where we can either chill or do a community game, or I would say activity in that sense. But really just kind of placing it in the time of day where everybody can access it, after work or after school. Just so people can engage and relax in the outdoors, essentially.
And I know that was the thing, that weekly rhythm started, this is the first time it's ever been put on, right?
Mm-hmm.
What made you kind of think to put that on? What need did you see to put it on?
The need I saw was that we want to have something recurring for community and anybody who's interested really to come and join and already know the place and the time, and essentially kind of go off of what they know with who's going to be there, which is either going to be me or Alexis or even familiar faces at staff running the club or the activity essentially for the day. But also just giving the time for me to kind of also give back to the community. I really like running, so I feel I'm really good at giving the the know-how, how to do it sustainably, how to do it to take care of yourself, how to do it in a sense of a form of self-love in that sense, where you're taking care of yourself because you're taking care of your pace. You're doing it to take, in the sense, take your time. Everybody thinks that running is all about getting places faster, right? And the other thing too is getting to the hike, doing a hike on the sunset. It's a beautiful time of day. We're finally got our time change too as well. So essentially around 7 o'clock now is when the sun starts to set. So you guys can kind of see New Mexico from that perspective, Albuquerque from that perspective. And it's something that really, I would say, helps people align and reconnect to as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say it was really nice going there. I would come out of work and then I go to the sunset hike or something. I didn't go to the sunset hike, actually. I
didn't see you there.
Okay, well, I saw myself there at everything else. I'm behind the camera, so they wouldn't know. But, yeah.
One of the events I got to host, which was a lot of fun, was I got to host the Next Gen group. I took them up to the Sandia Crest, which everybody should know. The Sandia Crest is closing April 1st. It's super sad. It's going to close all the way till 2027.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So if you can make it up to the crest before April 1st, you really should. But I got to take the next gen group out there, and we got to see there's a cabin at the top, and they had a wonderful time. It was the policy group. So they got to see why they're doing this work and like how open spaces and the lands are being like protected, because we're putting in the work to reach out to other communities and to like bring in the next gen policy groups. So that was really awesome.
So what are some like future events you guys are planning coming up?
So April is kind of booked up for us right now. We have some events with some schools, as well as some combined events with our ag team too as well. So Earth Day is an example. Earth Day, I believe, is on the 18th. I think it is. I think that's what it was.
Sometime in April, right?
It is in April, yeah. Say it again. Oh, we'll check on that. Yeah,
Okay, we'll get back.
but it's basically with our a school that we work with a lot, Native American Community Academy, and essentially just opening up a workshop for things that we can do to kind of help, I would say, connect people to why Earth Day is important and what we can do to kind of like create like sustainable practices and learn about agriculture as well as the outdoors too as well. April 22nd.
Oh, you were kind
there we
of
go. I don't know why.
I knew it was like April 20th, April
Yeah.
20 something.
I was like,
so I was just
there's
not.
so many
I was
dates
unsure.
Aren't you guys
But
like the
I'm
outdoors
appreciative of
department?
that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, dang.
Yeah, we really
Interesting.
appreciate the earth every day. So I
Every day is
I
Earth
don't think
Day.
it should
So
just be
first of
one- it's
all,
not
let's
just
give
one
it one
day.
day. Okay.
You can't pinpoint it to one day.
Technically,
Exactly.
yeah. Technically, today's out. Earth
So I
Day
do
too as well.
apologize for not knowing the specific day, but I do
Yeah.
try and appreciate
Every day is
it
Earth
every
Day.
day. Exactly.
That's beautiful. So,
and then
go on.
just to also kind of like add to like a lot of capacity building for the department too as well, so we can maintain safe technical, I would say, activities like rock climbing. So we'll be doing some rock climbing this month through the training of our mentor Josue. And it's going to be pretty awesome because we're going to be getting them back on the rock. You know, I just want to make sure we're fit and ready for taking our community out on the rock too as well.
And then, so kind of, I want to get into how did you guys get into the outdoors? Like, what brought you out, or like stories from that?
I've always loved outdoors ever since I was a kid. I was actually a huge fan of Steve Irwin, and also like younger than that, Tarzan. So it was definitely something that it was always really close to me. And my family actually took us out camping quite a bit of times. And we went tent camping, no RVs, nothing like that. So we were actually like sleeping on the floor, and I loved it. I was like, one of my favorite things I remember is just like them cooking up breakfast and smelling eggs and bacon in the morning. And then you just see like the sun shine through the trees, and it's just fresh air. So I have my family a lot to thank for that. And then National Geographics. Thank you.
You're better than me. When I camp, I don't think I've ever like really camped in a tent, honestly. So I can't.
no.
Like,
We're gonna change that.
We gotta change that.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna make an event just for you then.
just for me, so
Just
we
for
can
you.
camp. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm okay. It's okay.
yeah. But it's just gonna be you. We won't be there.
It's just me. But no, one time I did camp in a tent, and it was so hot. It was horrible. I love the outdoors. Don't get me wrong, but it was so hot. And
That's
I felt, like,
interesting.
the little bugs.
Maybe it had the rain, what do you call it, the rain shell on. Because sometimes if it's like not going to rain, there's no point in having the rain shell on. And that just creates
Wait,
like
no, I did
you
camp
don't-
outdoors with the return. Never mind. I just lied so badly.
Oh.
I did camp outdoors.
We got
I
it
was
on
gonna say,
4K.
I
I thought
that
you went
time.
on that hike.
It's because I like blocked it off of it was like really cold that time,
That's
actually.
really funny.
I think for me, it's always been an integral part of my life. Just being outdoors, especially just like coming from people like I'm essentially like coming from the res, right? And a lot of my family are from there. We used to essentially camp out for like powwows. And I remember that being a big part of my childhood growing up. It was like going to these events that were just like all about community, and they take place in the outdoors like everywhere, because you can essentially have a powwow anywhere. But the fun part for me was just like with my parents, camping overnight in the tent, like getting some food, and just being somewhere that wasn't home to me was just pretty awesome. And the people around me in these outdoor events or these community events were just awesome. So for me, I've always tied it to like family time. you know? So to me, it's like really important. And I think that's kind of like why I also like to do it as my job right now. It's like, hey, we're part of this thing, right? We're part of nature. We're part of community. Everything in a sense that is living around you is your relative and you're at home. You know, it's not anything that should be seen as like foreign or scary, right? It's inherently our family member, essentially.
That's beautiful. I feel like you both are really, because of your families, you're connecting a lot to your family, which is really nice. I had something I wanted to say and it just like slipped my mind completely. Oh, what's your like favorite, like, I guess like a funny outdoor story you have?
Oh no, that one's kind of hard. I don't know. I'm trying to think of. Okay, wait. Actually, I have one, and this one I always tell people because I used to love climbing trees. So, like I said, I love Tarzan. He was my favorite. So I was like, yeah, he was literally an inspiration as a child. So I used to climb up trees, and my mom would let me. She never saw like a big deal out of it. And one day I fell out of I almost I didn't fall all the way. That's the thing is I was pretty high up, and as I was falling, I remember in Tarzan him just sticking his arms out. And that's what I did. I stuck my arms out and I caught myself right before I was gonna I was a couple feet off the floor. Like I remember it was like a little bit.
It was like cinematic
it
and
was
everything.
Cinematic, and then when I came back, I had scratches all over me. My mom's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I almost fell out of the tree, but I'm okay." Like,
no, but I'm like Tarzan, so I survived.
So I survived. I did what he would have done. So
what would Tarzan do?
What would Tarzan
do?
Yeah.
And you did it?
In a tree.
Oh, nice. In a tree,
That's actually crazy that you caught yourself.
Specific.
I feel like that's why I'm so scared of climbing trees. I feel like I just fall and I wouldn't catch myself. I'm very bad at catching myself. I'm on the ground a lot actually, so yeah.
I'm thankful my senses like kicked in and they're like, put your arms out.
It's like fast reflexes right there. I would have just taken the L. I'd be like, you know what, I'm falling.
And I weighed less as a child though.
Oh,
so you have to remember that kids can like
you're also kind of spongy, so like
up.
you can kind of take a fall at that age now.
Exactly.
I know, yeah. At that
A
age,
good day for me is not getting hurt. You know?
I'm like, at that age, I was not getting hurt a lot. I don't know.
I was.
Not every other day.
I have a lot of scars on my legs because I fell or was the tree climbing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was very
Hey,
a reckless child.
But you survived and it's...
Yeah, my mom was definitely the parent that was like, go outside. And then she wouldn't see me for a couple hours because I'd be at the park and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I lived in Rio Rancho. So it was a lot of just like desert area to like explore with my dog.
Yeah.
So I definitely was just out and about as a kid. Yeah, I appreciated it.
It's so beautiful.
For me, funny. I'm trying to think of things that like are kind of funny like that, but
I don't know if it's gonna beat that one. I don't know.
I was gonna say, like for me, I guess it's a lot of storytelling from my dad, and I think we all kind of have this like, I would say like experience is like, oh yeah, like to a certain part of my life, I don't really remember that because I was so young, right? So the storytelling from my dad is that like he would take me on hikes with him, and essentially on these hikes, I would just struggle as a little kid because I obviously wouldn't have the right shoes. So this is a little bit on him. But one of the stories kind of, you know.
Just throwing him under the bus right now.
It was all him, yeah. But the story is basically like my dad just like saying like, yeah, like, you know, I'll take you on this hike, and I can't remember which trail it was, but essentially, yeah, you'd always like slide on your butt and you just like have a hard time. So it's more funny for him than it was for me. And it makes sense as to probably why I don't remember it. But I look back and kind of like live through that story vicariously of like, oh yeah, you know, I can kind of see why that would be really good in that sense for like a kid to be outdoors, right? To experience, because it's experiential learning.
And you did it without the equipment. So.
Yeah,
and your dad pushed you through. He didn't let you give up.
Yeah,
he made you do it.
But the way he tells it, definitely makes me laugh. I was like, oh yeah, okay, wow, well. I'm glad I survived, I guess. You know?
Sometimes the gear matters.
I grew out of it.
The gear matters sometimes. I took my friend to Lake Catherine last weekend, and she had like these sneakers, and she kept slipping on the snow, and I felt so guilty.
Oh yeah,
she should have came prepared.
It definitely changes.
I said,
I was like, no.
Why did you have hiking boots out?
But yeah, I think that's the best example I have of like a funny experience that I don't remember. Other things I would say is like maybe getting a little bit lost, but then again that kind of starts to get a little like scary because I'm like, I don't know where
it wasn't funny in the moment.
I took the wrong trail. Dang, you know. But yeah, I would say that's about it.
You guys have pretty funny stories. God, it just like slips my mind. It's because I'm like really into your story and I'm like thinking of my question and then like, oh my God. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
But so I know the summer program is coming up. I wanted to talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
So do you guys know what it's going to entail? Stuff like that? Any planning starting?
Yeah. It's going to be outdoors for sure.
Really? Oh my gosh. I thought we were going to be inside.
Yeah. And it's definitely going to be in the summer.
Yeah. Oh
and
my
there's
gosh.
definitely going to be me and Alexis there too, as well as also our other staff member too, Victoria. But yeah, with the kind of like logistic changing of the location, usually we utilize the crest as a good staple for taking our students, our youth, and our community outdoors. We're just kind of readjusting and rescouting new areas. Although that doesn't mean the whole mountain is closed to us. Mm-hmm. So it's really just kind of rescouting those areas, re-strengthening our knowledge of the trails that we'll be utilizing. But essentially the summer outdoor program will happen in July. We're still trying to figure out the specific dates. And it's a 10-day program where we'll probably most likely kind of like have a good cocktail of different locations where it's going to be like in the mountains close by as well as far out as Haim is, I would say.
Yeah.
But essentially just
we went to Nambe Falls too.
Nambe
I love
Falls.
Nambe
And it would be
Falls.
perfect too because during the summertime it gets really hot. We want to make sure that our youth, whoever it is that we take outdoors essentially, right? But especially our youth are able to cool off and enjoy the natural, I would say, resources and natural perks of New Mexico in that sense.
Yeah, and I feel like that hike is really like I don't want to say it's really short, but it's like it's kind of like a little stroll to
Nambe Falls.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it is
It's
a little
really
short.
nice.
And for those of you who don't know what the summer outdoor program
I know. I'm
is,
like, wait,
it's for youth 12 to 17 that we take out for 2 weeks and they go back home. So it's only like a day trip. We're not doing any overnights or anything like that. It's Monday through Friday. And so it gives the parents a chance to, get a little bit of a break, but your child's also getting outside. They're learning something new. They're exploring New Mexico that they can actually show you as well. So it's definitely something that you should think about for your kids to bring them to. Yeah, pretty excited for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you experienced the summer outdoor program by chance?
I've experienced it like every year.
Every year. All right. So I think
I
this
was
is
in
more
my
about.
first year.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
No,
to be
I
able to
started
be a
off
participant.
as a participant because my best friend brought me in, and I was like, I don't want to do this, but whatever. I still went, and then I just never left. They never got rid of me.
I loved it so much. She stayed.
I just loved it so much I couldn't leave because I think it's been like how many summer programs have we had? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
I want to say like 4.
4. Oh,
Oh,
wait, yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
the
we've had like
podcast
4.
gods have told us.
Yeah, so I've been a part of 3 out of 4. So I have been there.
All right. Well, we'll
really
see you
cool.
there for
You'll
this
see
one.
me again.
You'll see me
Yeah,
again.
she'll be there for the 5th.
I'll be there taking pictures of you guys. Don't even worry. I'll be right in your faces, like up close
She
and
really
personal.
will.
Yeah, don't worry. I make sure to get those shots, the action shots. But so how did you come?
My introduction into Semilla was through a community outdoor school that was hosted also by the same mentor I mentioned earlier, Josue, and essentially got to learn how to enhance my skills of teaching because at the time I was a teacher at the Native American Community Academy. And this really opened up my eyes because it helped also kind of like relearn and strengthen the knowledge and the idea that like, hey, all this stuff is pretty much like new to us, right? Everything that we see, everything that we interact with like in the city, right? This modern, let's say like offices, right? And inherently, traditionally, we did a lot of our our learning outdoors, right? The outdoors was the best teacher essentially for not just for my people, but many other people in that sense, right? So with that being said, I was able to kind of enhance my skills by learning a lot of the, let's say, outdoor educator schools as well as like outdoor guiding, so that I can kind of, in a sense, have both of those sides of taking students outdoors and even taking community outdoors and also just allowing myself to thrive in the outdoors too as well, while keeping it, in a sense, very connected to everything because, yeah, in a sense, like everything is connected. So that was my introductory to it. And then after that, just kind of did my thing for a while until I heard back about this cool, I think, career development program. Yeah, Next Gen, where I got to be a lead facilitator in that. And then from there, was able to kind of get into my position now, and then basically living my dream job, like being able to be outdoors, teach outdoors, allow myself to be of service to my community in that way, because it's something that is really, really, I would say, slept on, right? The outdoors is the best thing that we could do for ourselves and for learning in that sense.
I feel like a lot of people don't know that you can get a job within the outdoors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is why Keegan is in charge. So for me, to be honest with you, it was completely different. Like, that's why. I was like, this is why he's in charge. Because for me, it literally was an Instagram post. I was literally working somewhere else before this, and it was not an outdoor job. It wasn't really. It was a good job, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled, and I wanted that fulfillment. And I saw that Instagram post, and I was pretty excited because I'm like, okay, the pay is really pretty good. It's compared to what is out there right now. I was like, okay. And it was one of the next gen posts. It was for natural resources. And I was like, well, let me check it out. And I definitely went and I got into an interview. My interview went great. And then I got to do the next gen program with Semilla Project, and it was super exciting. I learned so much. I learned under Keegan. I learned under Josue. I got to meet the entire team, and it was a really awesome experience to be able to see that I could work in the environment and that there's different forms of doing it, and there isn't just one, and that an education is important, but that you may not always need it if you can get the experience and the knowledge as you're going. So it was really awesome. I'm super thankful, and I agree with Keegan that I'm in a dream job right now. I can't believe I'm here.
That's so sweet. I'm gonna start crying. The Instagram got you the free promo.
It was yours.
But,
It was your post.
Was it my post? It was my post. But okay. And then why do you think this work is so important? Just especially within the BIPOC community, like what you guys are doing?
It's very important because we're kind of, in a sense, I think as things are becoming more modernized, we're forgetting how important the outdoors are, and we're forgetting it because I would say like the need for like all this like, I don't know, technology stuff is kind of like pushing and encroaching on the natural resources that we have and creating those or affecting those spaces in a negative way in that sense. And I think the best way to mitigate that or to prevent that further encroachment is essentially just getting our community outdoors and learning about how everything really is interconnected. And a part of like what the curriculum that we have that started with the facilitation in the Next Gen program was essentially learning about interconnectedness. And another word for that is like symbiosis, right? But allowing people to kind of like see what they see in nature and asking those questions, right? They start to realize that there's so much there. But when we finish with this lesson plan or talking about that interconnectedness, one thing that's really missing from all that is people. They don't see themselves in nature. So it's really important because we need to see that, all right, if something starts to affect the ecosystem, right, on a smaller scale, it can really affect everything else. So how things are kind of happening right now and on the bigger picture with not taking care of the environment, we're essentially not taking care of ourselves. And to me, that's the most important thing, is that we got to make sure we take care of ourselves through that.
Can you ask me the question more?
It's because I listened to
I
Keegan
got so
say, and
into
then
it. Oh my gosh, it's so powerful every time. Yes, exactly.
You should start your own podcast.
Welcome to my podcast.
But it was just like, what do you think this work that you're doing is important, especially within the BIPOC community?
I think Keegan hit like a really big point, and that's what I was like, oh my gosh, I remember doing that. It was one of the activities we did, and he said, draw an ecosystem. And everybody drew an ecosystem, and only one group put themselves in it, like put a person in the ecosystem. And I thought that was huge because I'm like, he's so right. Like, why aren't we seeing ourselves in nature? And usually, like, it's our community that isn't seeing ourselves in nature. Whenever I watched Animal Planet as a kid, Steve Irwin didn't look like me. Did I look up to him? Was he an amazing man? Yes. But whenever I looked out to the community members that were on the National Geographics, they didn't look like me. But I loved what they did, and to have a chance to be able to do that and to show it to other people. Like, I'll never forget going to the Sandias on a field trip and someone told me what scat was. And if you know what scat was, then okay, exactly. So it's a proper term for poop, so that you're not saying, because all the kids were like, oh my gosh, there's poop. So the proper term is scat, but I'll never forget that because it was like an important knowledge at the time to just be like, yeah, like this is how you can identify it scientifically. And it was something that like stuck with me, and I was like, wow, I want to show kids. Like, I appreciate the people who are teaching us, and I think if we don't have people like us out there to teach our community, they're not going to see themselves in nature. They're not going to put themselves in that picture. It's going to just be empty.
And then how are you guys trying to embody that within your events? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I would say, in a sense, not teaching culture, but teaching culturally. And what I mean by that is essentially just referring to like a lot of the experiences that we share, right? So an experience that I like to kind of utilize is like, hey, like, do you guys like the way, you know, the rain smells when it, or how it smells when it rains in Albuquerque, right? And everybody can kind of picture that, right? Because they're like, oh yeah, I know what that smells like. And it's also also in a lot of people's, I would say, experiences, like really sacred when it rains here, because we need it, right? But just able to kind of like utilize that connection right there is kind of like the doorway into showing like, hey, like that's why, you know, like we're really good at smelling it, is because like we're able to essentially smell this thing called petrichor, I think is what it's called, right? That's the smell of it. And we're really good at smelling that because we need to be able to identify where water is, right? And water is really important right now in our ecosystem because there's climate change, right? And being able to kind of like scaffold that that knowledge from that smell, that experience, can get us to essentially teaching our community about why it's important to take care of it, and then how it even ties into the political stuff that Semilla is doing too as well.
For me, it's I try and like connect it, especially like when I'm in like open spaces, because I'm trying to like show them that like this is their land, that like this is where they belong, and we fought to have this land. Like when you have an open space, like there's someone out there advocating for that space, and it may not be you, but somebody is. And I feel like teaching people that like your voice matters, even in the smallest committee room, even in the legislation when we were out there, I think like just interconnecting it and being like, this is your land. This isn't someone else's land. We were all born on this planet Earth. I don't feel like it should be owned the way it is, but it is the way it is. So I think just like connecting people and letting them know that like it's their inherent right to be in these places. That's definitely like how I try and loop it back every time when I'm out in the mountains with them, and they're just like, can I come here? I'm like, you can come here whenever you want. I'm like, this is your space. Granted, if they have a gate, it'll close by 8 o'clock. Yeah. I'm like, but this is your space to come to. And I always just try and make people feel like that they belong there and that they shouldn't feel weird about being there.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned that because, I mean, well, like I said earlier, I went on a hike last weekend. I think that's the first time I've ever gone on one by myself, like without going with Semilla. Because I also started off like that thinking, can I even come back here? Or can I come on my own? Stuff like that. So I really love that you mentioned that. That's really nice.
Yeah, and also just to kind of add, right? It's just like there's no such thing as an illegal person on stolen land too as well. You know, like the land is inherently us and vice versa. And all this stuff that has to do with like this animosity or this hate towards other people is, you know, constructed from a bigger agenda that people are trying to create or that have created to, you know, get us to not really pay attention to that agenda, right? It's kind of made in this way to distract us from like, oh yeah, I'm different from this person, or I look different from this person, so therefore I have to treat them differently too as well. And also I have to take as much stuff as I can so that I can essentially, you know, have more than the other person, you know? But really it's like, yeah, we got to be able to think about like why things are kind of like, in a sense, being taught to us this way, or people are thinking that way, right?
You got to think of the bigger picture. Why are we this, like, why are they pushing it so hard this way?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is it nature in schools as much? Like they're doing it on purpose. They're trying to separate us from the land, and we're not going to let them.
No, and I feel like it can also get a little discouraging when you go outside and you didn't see anyone that looks like you. Like I go out and I'm like, oh, they're nice, yeah, but they just don't
On
look
the
like
hikes. Yeah, it can get a little weird. Sometimes people will approach us and be like, "What are you guys doing here?" And then as soon as they find out that like we're like with a nonprofit helping getting youth outside, they're like, "Oh, okay." But sometimes there are those ones that you're like, "Yeah, you can keep on hiking."
Yeah, I remember telling someone once, and they were like, "Well, why don't they go outside then?" They like I went outside when I was a kid. I was like,
a lot of the time it's transportation.
Yeah.
I mean, people think money comes easily, and for those who think it comes that easily, there's a reason that they feel that way.
And that's why he was outside. Right?
Yeah, I was just like, so it's a big thing. Like a lot of parents don't have cars. So, and if you do have a car, you're not trying to take it up to the top of the Sandias. Like, what if it doesn't make it? What if it breaks down on you? They don't have an emergency contact they can get a hold of.
And it's also like work. How are you, like, sometimes it's your only day off in the week. Why you're not going to think to go on a hike. You're tired.
As a parent, you're going to be tired. And I know kids are a lot. That's why we do. I was like, that's why we do our hikes. That way, so we can take them off your hands for that little bit of time, and
it gives them something else to do as well.
Exactly. They get to experience nature, and I think that always is really touching to them.
Well, what is your guys' favorite outdoor event? I just say, like, now that we're kind of talking a little bit about.
One that I haven't hosted yet, but want to host
in the future.
Well, in the future, but also like what got me in the door too as well was the high performing technical stuff, which is the rock climbing. I really love that, and I think that's just because it's more than just this thing that people see as like really cool or whatever, right? Like, like maybe this dude Alex Honnold, right? He probably brought a lot of I would say like people introduce them into it, right? But in a dangerous way because it's like free soloing, right? But to me, it was really, really cool because like I learned as I was rock climbing that there are ways to approach rock climbing, right? And when you learn that there's different ways of approaching it, you can learn that there are ways that other rock climbers see these routes that people rock climb, and they refer to them as problem solving. And I realized that, I think that's what I really like about rock climbing is that it kind of like itches that part of my brain that really likes to solve things in that sense. Because I think inherently, you want to make sure that you are climbing this rock in this way and doing it in the most efficient process that you can. And I thought that was like, kind of like eye-opening for me as to like what it really truly was that I really liked about rock climbing. But that's an event that I have either helped with or been introduced through Semilla that I want to essentially replicate as the outdoor programs manager for other community members.
Wow. I feel like I've never thought about rock climbing that deeply. Like the way you explained it is really beautiful.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Rock climbing
so event is always so fun.
I'm like, I'm so ready
So when are you putting it on?
All right, we'll go right now.
Okay, right after this?
Podcast ending. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I'm only certified at Stone Age, but like the belay.
At belaying, yeah. Me too, same.
I need to get my certification for belaying at Stone Age.
So you're a little behind.
Just a little bit. But for me, my favorite event was definitely the summer outdoor program. I think that one was my favorite just because we got to go to so many locations and meeting those kids too. You get pretty close to them.
Yeah.
They're pretty funny. They're outgoing. They're curious. So the summer outdoor program was definitely like my favorite event. Going to Nambe Falls was cool. Seeing the kids get in the water, I didn't think kids could have so much fun. And them
convincing you to get in the water too.
Yeah. I almost lost my glasses in there when I went into the water. That was my fault though. Why did I wear my glasses?
Oh yeah. So, it's okay. I wore my glasses, my sunglasses. I also almost
but it's a core memory now, you know?
It is a core memory. Yeah, because they told me to dive. I think it was Alejandro.
Not
he
even the
lost
kids.
his hat or something when he went under the water.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I must have got caught on a rock or something. Again, I'm very thankful. I literally barely caught my glasses in front of me.
God.
Like as they were coming off, I felt them. And then I just like caught them.
It's like again cinematic. You're just very cinematic, very fast.
It does have thank goodness. I watched Spider-Man a lot, so maybe that's why.
I think you like really embody.
That was you getting your superpowers right there.
Yeah, literally. Those moments that they come through, I'm like,
that's so funny. But
nice.
I don't. What is like what? I don't think I asked you guys what the summer program kind of entails. Did I ask you that? Like what events there is?
The
Or the
summer after
events?
program,
Yeah.
a little bit. We like kind of broke it down. It's just mainly about taking the kids out for those 2 weeks and getting them closer to the land. We do like safety trainings before each one, making sure like they know where they're allowed to walk, if there's like barriers, if we're gonna be swimming. Like the water at Nambe Falls, it was literally like 3 feet. So it wasn't like super deep, and like when we were diving, it was like top water diving. But there was always like we always made sure we set up like barriers where we were like, hey, you can't climb farther than that. It's too slippery. But besides that, I mean, it was us going to Hemis, the Sandias, Nambe Falls, Rio Grande. We probably want to go somewhere else next year. Add something. Add something to the list.
Yeah, I feel like the outdoor program too also entails like some capacity building for students to understand like, oh, there's other things you can do past just the day hikes. So you can do the essentially the backpacking camping trips too as well. And that's something that I think before you get there, you really have to just kind of focus on a lot of the introductory things, as Alexis was saying. But basically just kind of setting the tone, setting the intentions, and giving the students the right tools so that they can kind of understand like how to navigate, even like not just in nature, but like, you know, their own life, their own like school, whatever it is that they are kind of like struggling with, and apply what they've learned in their outdoor programming to their personal, maybe even at that point, hopefully they are getting started in their career development and their personal development in that sense too as well.
What's your guys' what do you see the most rewarding part of this is, of doing this work?
Pass, Alexis. I'm just kidding.
I was like, what philosophical man?
I know. I'm ready for your response right now.
Well, I guess for me, the most rewarding thing about it is really thinking of it in terms of like the long reward. It takes a while in a sense to see the payoff, right? But in a sense, as how Semilla is created, right? It's kind of like planting the seed for future leaders, essentially. And being a part of that process to me is very rewarding. So in a sense, it's very, I would say, can be a little nerve-wracking sometimes because you're making sure that you're not doing anything wrong. You're making sure that you're being, in a sense, like a role model for your students. But that's just a lot of like anybody's, I would say, day to day, right? That in a sense, that imposter syndrome. But just making sure that they are doing everything that they want to do safely and getting the right tools so that they can take these tools to their community, essentially, or to their families, right? Building the skills, giving them the experience, and allowing them to create their own wisdom to bring back to the collective wisdom of their community. And to me, that's overall the goal and the most rewarding thing I could say about being an outdoor programs manager.
For me, the most rewarding part is just, I think, getting to be that role model. Like I said, like Steve Irwin was one of my role models. That person who showed me that stuff in the mountains in the Sandias when I was younger was my role model. So I think finally getting to step into those shoes and see like the kids' faces when they experience it for the first time, when they find out that a mullein leaf used to be used as toilet paper, and then they touch it and it's super, super soft. And they just like start to grow that connection with it. And again, like Keegan said, it is a long process because we are planting the seed for them to, in the future, become those leaders. So I think, I would say that's the most rewarding part is the faces I get to see with surprise and like happiness that they're like, whoa.
Yeah, and I feel like seeing you mentor the kids as well. I've seen you with the youth. It's so beautiful. You're really good at it. I just want to give you a compliment. You're really good at it. I appreciate it. I look up to you.
The kids are so fun.
Very
Again,
high energy facilitation.
Yes, I try and keep it high because I know how kids are. They want high energy. They want someone to be distracting them. I've seen these shows these kids are watching, and it's hard to keep up.
Bluey. I hear it's Bluey.
I hear Bluey's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never watched Bluey.
I've never watched it, but I've
should watch it and pick up the Australian accent from there. They're Australian, right?
I don't know, actually. I just hear about Bluey.
I feel like I've heard.
I haven't watched an episode of it yet.
After this, I guess. But so what do you guys envision just in the outdoors department this next coming year? What do you guys envision for the year?
I would say envision definitely kind of strengthening our community and the resilience in our community of like what's to come, really, because there's going to be a lot of climate change. There's going to be a lot of political change. There is even noticeable economic change right now happening. And the overall vision of like all of our goals for our department and our organization is essentially to give our community the experience and the knowledge that they need to overcome these challenges. And a lot of that can come from experiential learning in the outdoors. What you do in the outdoors can heavily be applied to a lot of things that are happening out there. And that's like the main thing you could really do for anybody in that sense is like, you know, everybody talks about like communication, right? Communicate. But really, like nobody talks about giving people the tools to self-replicate self-regulation during tough times. So that's a lot of like what we have in store and where it's all kind of coming from.
For me, where I like see it going for the urban forestry side, I definitely see us continuing to expand the canopy across New Mexico. We're just trying to help out with how much lack of shade and tree coverage there is here. It's just getting really hot. We have a heat island effect, and it's causing a big issue. So we're going to continue to be spreading those trees and spreading the knowledge. We're going to be reaching out to schools to make sure they have the opportunities too, even if it's just like a 30-minute lesson. We want everyone to have a chance to learn anything that they can. And then for the outdoor education side, I definitely just want to grow the community. I'm still just trying to reach out and make sure that we can reach as much as we can, as many people as we can, and make sure that they feel included and get to participate in these activities and this wonderful program.
And I've heard you mention that you guys work with schools as well. I kind of forgot to ask about that. Like, what do you guys do with the schools?
With schools, we can do tabling events. So, like, we'll table for the upcoming Next Gen. We can table for the, like, event we might have that month, like our weekly rhythm. We can do it for the ROC program. But then we can also do lessons, like a 30-minute lesson in the school if they want. And it can be on anything. We have an agriculture department that hopefully you guys are going to hear from soon. And they can do little like mini planting classes. But for us, it would mainly be like setting up a tent. For me, ROC, the Rooting Our Community program, I'd be teaching that in the class. And then we can also sometimes do field trips, depending on like transportation. Yeah, we do field trips where we can take them on a hike. We could take them to the Rio Grande. It's really helpful for high schoolers, especially because we can do like water testing. We can do fire mitigation, just like to show them what the job entails. And if it's something that interests them, then like they're right away already getting some experience into how they can use it and apply it.
Essentially, I think the best way to kind of put it is like we see a lot of schools doing activities based off of like, oh, look at this nature book. Let's draw all this nature stuff, right? Or let's color in these nature books, or let's learn about nature and all these presentations or these slides. What we do is like try to take the irony out of it and like, all right, yeah, we can teach about it indoors, but let's get the students to the outdoors. Let's just go out there, right?
Yeah,
that's a lot of where the learning actually kind of comes into, because like we're all very visual, we're all very kinesthetic. But yeah, essentially just taking the irony out of everything, where we're essentially still in that disconnected phase and just getting our students connected, getting any student or any school that is interested in learning about that interconnectedness through our outdoor events, essentially in our field trips. Yeah.
So like the hike, I know you guys went with a school recently. What was that? What did you guys kind of teach them that time?
Yeah. So the most recent one we had was with the Outdoor Adventure Club. And that was about like 15 students. What we did was we kind of taught them about setting intentions before the hike, making sure that they have all the, let's say like the stuff that they have on them, like the basics, like the shoes, making sure that everything's kind of like tied. Communication, I would say tactics, so that when we're in the heat, you know, like how do you communicate? How do you know this heat exhaustion? And really just understanding pacing too as well, because, you know, going from indoor stuff to going outdoor stuff can kind of be a little bit of an increase in, I would say, like activity, right, that they're not used to. So just really creating that gradual process of understanding, connecting, instructing, so that they can apply it in the outdoor event that we have essentially. But when we get to our spots in the mountains, in the foothills, we do like mini lesson plans. Like I got to teach them about like how to use a whisper light stove, right? And being able to kind of connect it to a little bit of science of like, hey, this is white gas, it's a liquid. This stove uses this white gas, but it comes out in this as a flame or as a gas. Like, how does that happen, right? So we get to even teach about that too as well. But as we're out there, the students are also heuristically learning about themselves too as well. So there's a lot of things going on, but what we try to do, like I said, is connect and instruct a lot of the basic tools that they need for the outdoors so that they can kind of do the thing essentially as safely as possible.
But we can also apply the lesson to the school. So like if they want us to like teach about math, like maybe they're struggling with their math class and multiplication, then like we can come up with an idea, but we're still taking them outside. I think going outside is just, they need fresh air. Like we're trapped inside all day, and people don't realize how much, like if these kids just got some fresh air, they'd probably feel a little bit of relief, get some sunlight, some vitamin D. And then we can count how many trees and multiply them. We can use a whiteboard outside and still do the math lesson
as well. Just do some math in the dirt.
So just like anything we can do to like kind of just also show the teachers that like these are the little things you can do to get them outside when they are acting a little rowdy. Maybe like you should kind of like get outside and
touch
then maybe
grass.
Have them touch some grass, have some breathing exercises. Kind of just even for the teacher can ground themselves. So it's definitely like we love to like just kind of just show how we can
and collaborate
it.
Collaborate with the teachers too as well. And I think we would tailor whatever lesson plan we have for the day to whatever it is that could help in the classroom too as well as to like what the teacher is teaching in that classroom that week or that month, right? But yeah, it as the saying goes, it takes a village, right? It takes a community to raise kids. So we welcome that collaboration too as well. We do have like things in our back pockets for these events for what we intentionally and like our goals for like what we want to teach our students. But yeah, everything is pretty much self-taught or naturally taught or prepared to be taught in the outdoors with our youth.
What do you hope people take away from this work that you guys are doing?
Hopefully just kind of showing the, I guess like the intentions of everything. Like really it's like, well, why do you want to do this with your students, right? And then essentially when you start asking those whys, you can start talking about the whats, right? Like through clubs, through lesson plans, and then even get into the nitty-gritty of the hows. Because when you start getting those out of the way, then you can start getting into the when and the wheres. And that's really what it's all about, is the when and the wheres, which is the outdoors essentially.
Just that it's possible. Like, that's like the biggest thing that don't overthink it. Like really don't overthink it. If it's just a courtyard, go in the courtyard. So I think that's like the biggest thing for me that I want people to take away is just don't overthink it. Just go outside, like and breathe some fresh air. Because 100%, it's just a lot of people overthinking the idea that like it is hard and it's not. Like again, like I said, it's so simple that I think we overthink it.
Honestly,
so, yeah, you know what I mean? So then you kind of just talk yourself out of it. But that's like definitely something I want people to take away, is just not to overthink it and to just like feel themselves connected to nature. Like even if it's a teacher that feels better that day, that's someone that we were able to reach that will now be able to teach that to somebody else. So yeah, just that it's possible.
How do you guys hope to get people to come out to these events as well?
Hopefully by a praxis of essentially like setting the intentions and modeling those intentions in our department, right? So like maybe showing them like our events through social media, maybe even doing like a snapshot of our, I would say, curriculum with the teachers, giving out workshops or setting workshops of like, hey, like if you guys wanted to do your own events, this is how you do tour planning. As much as we can, whatever we can to engage with our community to teach them these tools and eventually even just get them to our events too as well. Maybe even collaborate too as well. But yeah, just kind of like through those methods, I would say, and then rinse, lather, repeat, I guess, you know?
I would agree.
I personally,
he's right. It's either like canvassing where you're outdoor knocking, or we're posting on social media, or it's people that we've already connected with and we're just trying to hang on to them.
Yeah.
And then just also providing events that people want to go to. We don't want it to be anything that's like too much. Like a lot of these lessons, they aren't the entire time. It's usually like 30 minutes, an hour. But
digestible.
Exactly. Digestible. That's the perfect word for it.
Although I would like to say, though, coming from a teacher's perspective, though, is like school is never out. So technically, getting them ready for that
Every day's
mindset.
Earth
Like,
Day.
you have to be learning. Every day is Earth Day.
You're always learning. You never stop.
Exactly. Because if you do stop, it means you're dead. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not to be morbid, but like,
Not to be like that.
that, or you're just not setting yourself up for, the future too, because things do change. Just as nature changes, things change essentially.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just caught me off guard.
I was wondering where he was going, and then I was like, oh no.
And I kind of felt like you were going to say it, and I was like... So if someone's interested in joining these events, how would they go about that? I know you kind of talked about it a little bit, but...
I would say just kind of look out for our events through social media for sure, through our outreach too as well, through the schools that we've been doing as well, flyer drops. And then if anybody, anywhere wanted to kind of like get in touch with us, our emails, which I don't know if we'll be giving out anywhere in this podcast, but yeah, essentially to start planning for those events, co-leading, co-hosting things on an organizational level. But for the most part, just through strengthened relationships and social media, I would say.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I'm definitely always posting on Facebook, a lot of Facebook groups. I'm like, so if you see me out there, I'm here. I'm real.
I'm not just a vlog.
Yeah, I promise. I was like, I'm real. I'm the one posting them. And then Instagram also has a lot. We have cute little TikTok videos. But you can reach us through our social media and then through the registration, the QR code. And if for anyone is curious about how you're supposed to scan the QR code, because I know I was frustrated the first time because I'm like, what, are you supposed to take a picture of the picture? So what you can do is you screenshot the QR code or the entire flyer and then go into your gallery and then you can click, like you hold on to the QR code. And then it pops up with the link.
Is it just for iPhone though? Because I thought it was
for
just
Android.
iPhone.
It's for Androids too. So Androids can do it too. They just updated it, I remember, because they weren't able to do it. You were right. But they are now. So go to your screenshot it, gallery, and then you hold on to the QR code and then it'll pop up.
And that's how you sign up for our events.
And that's how you sign up for our events. So if it's needed, we also try and put the registration link, but it's not like clickable on Instagram. We would have to put it on our bio, which is, we can't put every registration link on the bio. So I apologize, guys.
You guys have a good amount of events.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully that made it a little bit easier for those of you who didn't know that, like I did not.
Yeah, I would get my phone over something else and I just scan it like that.
I would literally be like, let me take a picture of your phone, or I'd be taking a picture of my computer. And I was just like, I'm so not tech savvy and this is not fair.
Anyway.
2026 and we're doing it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, this can't be right. But okay.
It's a modern world. You need to catch up.
I'm trying.
But so what's one thing you would like people to take away from this podcast overall?
Well, I would say just kind of like the faces of the department, right? It's like, this is what we look like. This is who we are. Some connection, and hopefully that helps like kind of like ground everybody for like the, I would say like the introductions, the next part of like, oh, cool. Like I know who they are and I can, in a sense, like look forward to the events that we have. But also just kind of like the things we touched on of like, nature is inherently us. So in a sense, like don't think of the outdoors as something that's scary or, uncertain. That is, in a sense, your place. And always remember that and take yourself out there as much as you can. Nature does a lot for us. It definitely, one of the things it does for us is it heals us too as well, and do that as much as you can because life doesn't get easier, and take advantage of the outdoors as much as you can.
For for me, every day is Earth Day.
There you go.
That's what I want you to take away from today. But honestly, just the fact, again, I agree with Keegan that you guys can put a face to the names now for the outdoor department here at Semilla Project. And yeah, just that you belong out there, guys. Like, I don't know how many times we got to say it, that nature is not irrelevant, that it is very much amongst us and we are among it. And we just need to appreciate it, or at least acknowledge that it's there, because we can't just keep ignoring the fact that the world is going the way it is and climate change is happening. And I just want everyone to know that you guys are going to be okay. Just go outside and take a breath.
Touch grass.
Touch some grass. That's like a huge thing. Just touch some grass. Put your toes in the dirt, and just ground yourselves, because it's definitely rough out there. Keegan's not wrong. And I think a lot of us hang on to the hard parts, the bitter parts of the world. And there's a lot of beauty to hang on to that I think we should start focusing on. And so I really hope that people take that with them today and remember that every day is Earth Day.
Yeah. So essentially, we don't have to do an Interstellar. If you guys have ever seen the movie, we don't have to leave the planet. Okay, we can fix the planet.
Maybe Wall-E.
Yeah, we don't have to
There's
do a
still
Wall-E.
time.
There's
Stop
still time to
building
do-
bunkers.
Get out there.
All they're doing is tilling. Do you guys realize that? They're just tilling the,
Just
earth
tilling the
to
earth.
build a bunker.
Yeah.
Anyway, so on a lighter note, with just my last question, what is your guys' favorite outdoor spot here in New Mexico?
My favorite outdoor spot is anywhere with my wife.
Aww, you know,
That's so
sweet.
cute.
Just- he
my
has all
partner
the
might
answers, I guess.
my partner might get offended because I'm not going to say that.
Well, me personally,
Anywhere with
or-
my partner, she's
I
about to
do
sound-
love her to death.
I mean,
but
listen to that part specifically.
no, I already know she's going to watch this whole thing. Well, where I like to go with my partner, that's my favorite spot, is Hemis. I love Hemis. I don't know what it is about Hemis, but I just grew up there. And it's such like a pretty forest, and they do such good mitigation work there that as a child I didn't know was mitigation work. So they take care of their forest there a lot, and there's just so many good spots that you can get to within a couple of minutes. Like you can get to a waterfall, you can get to Fenton Lake, you can get to Battleship, and it's all like 30 minutes away from each other. Like literally like boop, boop, boop. If not less. So I love Hemis. That's definitely my favorite location here in New Mexico.
I always hate on that drive though. So far.
I think it's because of the quantity, like the volume of how many
Every
trips you've
day,
done.
yeah.
Oh, you hate that drive.
Yeah, the drive was horrible. But sorry, that was just negative of my part.
She's all, let's get positive.
So
And I
let's
was
get
like,
positive.
I hate
Sorry,
the
guys.
drive.
I hate driving.
You know,
Anyways, the
watch it.
drive
We could
there.
drive the opposite direction to, where is it, like Pecos? I think that one's
I
like,
think it is.
Yeah,
I don't know my
we'll
directions like that. I
Let's
can't
take
lie.
her there and we'll see if she likes that drive.
Keep you posted. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Loved hearing you guys
Thank you
talk.
for
You
having
guys
us.
are very well spoken. I cannot lie. I was like listening so hard intensely. But thank you guys for joining me today, and stay tuned next week for our next episode, episode 3. Bye.
Bye.